038 523 today.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
Do you have any undisclosed tax liabilities between 1st of July 2015 and 30th June 2020? Do not worry. At Kenya Revenue Authority, we believe in second chances. Take advantage of the voluntary tax disclosure program, which is valid up to 31st December 2023. Apply online on itax.kra.go.ke or download the application form at www.kra.go.ke and submit to your respective KRA office. Kenya Revenue Authority, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee. Cabling tips. Use cables from a reputable manufacturer made from 99.99% pure copper and the best insulation. Use a certified installer. Scratch to verify and authenticate your cables. We manufacture an Did you know snakes attack if provoked or hurt? They play a major role in the ecosystem by feeding on rodents that destroy vegetation and crops. We are most likely to encounter snakes on footpaths, farms, bushy areas and our houses, resulting to bites. In case of snake bites, use correct first aid methods instead of ineffective traditional methods. Message brought to you by Kenya Snakebite Research and Intervention Center in collaboration with Neglected Tropical Disease Program, Ministry of Health.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. You're watching NTV at One. My name is Zeynab Ismail. Now, Kenya has ranked at position 84 out of 107 countries on the Global Hunger Index of 2020 as millions of people stare starvation in the face. According to the index, Kenya is classified as seriously hungry as the number of undernourished people increases to hit 23% of the population as fewer people have access to adequate food supply. At least 4.9% of Kenyan children under the age of 5 years are classified as wasted, while 31.5% are stunted. 4.5% of children die before their 5th birthday due to undernourishment. The Global Hunger Index is a tool designed to comprehensively measure and track hunger at the global, regional and national levels by looking at 4 indicators, that is, undernourishment, child wasting, child stunting and child mortality. Now, Coast Regional Commissioner John Elung'ata has warned political leaders in Coast Region against fueling animosity and tension, saying he will crack the whip on those preaching political intolerance. Addressing local elders in Minjila in Tana River County, Elung'ata warned leaders and residents not to repeat the cycle of violence that has caused loss of lives and property and displaced many in the region.
Uhasama ambao ulikuwa unajengeka kutokana na matamshi fulani ya baadhi yetu Wengine wanasema tumefikia maafikiano fulani ya kisiasa na lazima itimike na mambo kama hayo ya uchochezi. Lakini kama mnavyojua, Kenya ni nchi moja ya kila mtu. Una haki ya kukaa hapa kwa amani bila kusumbuliwa na mtu na bila wewe kusumbua mtu.
The late Jacqueline Mugure, a 31-year-old woman who was hit by a stray bullet in the CBD, has been laid to rest. Described as kind, respectful, and the breadwinner in her family, Jacqueline's death has left a huge gap, one that the family say will only become smaller when justice is served for her unjust death.
Buried just a reach away from her mother, Selina Mogore Mwita, the late Jacqueline Mogore was laid to rest yesterday at her rural home in Kulamawe area, Isiolo. On the 11th of February, as Jacqueline was running errands at OTC area within the CBD in this blue tuk-tuk, a stray bullet pierced its screen and cut short her life. Yesterday, as her family laid flowers on her grave, the bitterness of her premature death was not lost on them.
Jacqueline ndo alikuwa breadwinner. Ndiye alikuwa anasimamia. Mama yake alipofariki na baba yake alipofariki, Jacqueline ndo alichukua hiyo mzigo ya ndugu zake na dada zake. Tunaomba haki ya mwanadamu, haki ya mnyonge pia ikasikike wakati kama huu wa majozi.
The rest of the policemen at least wakuwe waangalifu.
The shell casing of this bullet found near the scene of the crime has formed the foundation of investigations by the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. So far, a police officer has been arraigned over the matter. The firstborn in a family of 4, Jacqueline leaves behind her young son and siblings. Gena Kirori, NTV.
Meanwhile, homicide detectives at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations are looking to unravel a murder mystery in which a Nyeri-based tycoon is accused of hiring hitmen to kill his own son for 160,000 shillings, as revealed by the DCI detectives. 33-year-old Daniel Mwangi Wangondu was murdered on January 1st at his home in Mwega after a New Year's party when he was ambushed by unknown people. The DCI have now arrested his father, Stephen Wangondu, as a key suspect in the incident. NTV has learned that deep-rooted family wrangles pitting the controversial tycoon against his own sons, their spouses and employees at his multi-billion estate in Mwega. James Mahinda, the driver of the deceased father, and a woman identified as Charity Mushiri have also been arrested as suspects in the murder. Barely a week after the management of listed medical gas manufacturer BOC Kenya began circulation of takeover documents to shareholders, it has emerged that an independent valuation of the company revealed an undervaluation of as much as 44% and the takeover offer by Carbasid and Axia Investments, threatening to throw the takeover into disarray. Julian Samboko unpacks the details of the independent report.
6 days ago, on the 19th of February 2021, the management of listed medical gas manufacturer BOC Kenya indicated it had finally begun circulating the takeover offer documents to shareholders about 23 days later than earlier expected, with the exercise having been deferred twice in the past. Documents seen by NTV reveal divergence of opinion regarding the valuation of BOC Kenya could be the underlying factor presenting headwinds to the takeover of the company following the November 25, 2020 bid placed by Carbasid and Axia Investments. In its report dated January 25, 2021, Dyer & Blair Investment Bank, in its capacity as an independent valuer in the transaction, places the valuation of each share of BOC Kenya at 91 shillings and 76 cents, a far cry from the 63 shillings and 50 cents offered by Carbasid and Axia Investments. Dyer & Blair concludes its independent valuation report by stating that, and I quote, "The fair value obtained is a weighted average of 6 methodologies outlined in the opinion. The fair value is 91 shillings and 76 cents, which is 44.5% higher than the offer price. The offer price is not considered to be fair and reasonable to shareholders. End of quote. The takeover bid is now complicated by the fact that Kab Acid and Aksaya had already secured an irrevocable undertaking by BOC Holdings, the largest shareholder in BOC Kenya, owning 65.38%, to accept the offer and sell the shares at 63 shillings and 50 cents. It is further complicated by the fact that the board of BOC Kenya has declined to recommend the offer to shareholders. Shareholders of BOC Kenya now have until the 6th of April 2021 to determine whether to accept the offer of 63 shillings and 50 cents from Kab Acid and Aksaya. The deal is expected to be consummated by the 31st of July 2021. Julians Amboko, NTV.
And indeed, just a clarification, it is BOC Gas Kenya, not Biogas Kenya, as earlier stated while I was introducing the story. Now, the government is positioning Kisumu International Airport as a transit point for Kenya's and East Africa's vast horticulture business, with a planned construction of a 135 million shillings cargo and cold room facility by April 2021 to enable easy handling of fresh produce for export market. NTV's Judith Cherono filed the following report.
Meeting held in Kisumu on Wednesday, Kenya Airport Authority's cargo commercial manager, Jack Bonner, informed the attendees that KAA has already released land at the old Kisumu airport. This is to pave way for establishing the cargo transit shed for processing both exports and imports and perishable goods.
Freight services is core to the development of business growth, and aviation plays a critical role in the global village we live in today. Essential element for the development of the region, as it gives hope to farmers and fishermen in the area and signals a pragmatic approach to cooperation grounded in the priorities of the Kenyan government at the national and regional levels.
Kisumu Governor Professor Nyong'o says the launch of the cargo facility will help in realizing the full capacity in the county's exports, notwithstanding farmers' failure to secure external market for their fresh produce. In addition, farmers are encouraged to promote horticulture and meat products so as to help boost the economy of the lake region.
Kisumu is interesting because it creates a multimodal kind of setup, because we've got the convergence of the rail, we've got the convergence of the road that have been developed between Busia, we've got the ICD, and we've got the airport. All this infrastructural development, if well nurtured and if the stakeholders are aware of their capability and potentiality, then it makes sense.
The project will not only spur investments and industrialization, but is expected to create more job opportunities for sustainable livelihoods and reduced poverty for the residents. Judith Cherono, NTV.
Thanks, Judith, for that. Now, the next stage for the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 is in Parliament, and the leadership says it is ready. NTV's senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Mureithi is with the National Assembly Majority Leader Amos Kimunya and is telling us of steps put in place thus far with regards to receiving the bill. Mureithi?
No problem. Well, a very good afternoon to you, Zeynab, there. And the next stage for the Constitutional Amendment Bill is in Parliament, as you've rightly said. And one of the things that is going to be looked at is how members of Parliament, that is both in the Senate and in the National Assembly, are going to behave with this bill when it comes to them. And right now, we are joined by Majority Leader in the National Assembly, that is Mr. Amos Kimunya, just to get a glimpse of what next and how many certificates have they received this far, and what is the progress that we do expect. And Bwana Kimunya, how are you, and has it moved? Have you received any certificates this far, and how many are they?
No, in fact, I know we have received some certificates, but in terms of the number, allow me not to comment, because 41 completed as of yesterday. But I know for those who completed last week, we actually had some of the certificates already received. I think 8 had been received here, and they are all, we said wait until we have 24 and then, verify them.
You're saying that you're going to wait until you get 24. Does that mean that if you get 24, you stop the process at that, or you will continue receiving them, or immediately you receive the 24, you proceed to introduce the bill and all that?
Exactly. 24 is the threshold. Once we have 24, we can proceed. But we would also want, for the record, to ensure that we have received all the 47, whether including the Baringo. No. So that we have the 47, the proper reconciliation that 47 bills were sent, 47 bills were considered in the county assemblies, and this is how they have been determined. We would want to cap that for posterity here. But all we need is, once we have 24, we can go forward and start the debate, which I anticipate we should be starting that debate. We'll be making a decision on that debate by Tuesday next week when we meet for House business. We would at least be guided. This is the process. Allocate a time, because it's between that and the budget. Those are the two critical things that we need to sort out.
Now that we do know that Parliament actually does not sit from Friday moving on into the weekends, are you going to be setting up probably a desk that will be receiving these bills if they do come over the weekend? Because you're saying that you will be probably looking at this earliest on Tuesday when the House Business Committee meets.
Yeah. Now, Parliament does not sit on Mondays and Fridays. Yes. But Parliament works 24 hours. So even as we are over the weekend, there are committees all over working on the budget and other. Our technical staff, there's a technical committee, and the technical committee is meeting and working on a 24-hour basis, receiving all these things and processing. So the fact that there's a weekend does not stop the receiving of the bills. Only the discussion that we'll meet in the chamber on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But the committees have been meeting and will continue meeting.
Any special plans that you have with this bill, knowing that the principals would really want it expended with as soon as possible?
Actually, it's not even the principals, the Kenyans. Remember there's 3 million Kenyans who have been verified as having supported the bill. And those Kenyans are eager to see the fruit of their labor. And we're also eager to see the bill processed probably before June, if need be, so that, we can start putting in motion the laws, the alienation, the boundaries for the 70 new constituencies before the end of this year, right? And hence, people, when they go to the election next year, they know the whole framework they're going for election.
Yesterday, you were part of a press conference. I know it was not parliamentary, but today you are in your office, and there are some pronouncements that were made with regards to this bill when it comes into Parliament. What is the least or most time you want to take with this particular bill, noting that you cannot make any changes to it?
There are no changes to be made, but we would also want as much debate as possible, all right? So that the truth of the bill will be anchored in and captured in the Hansard. And all the lies that people have told in funerals out there about the bill, we would like to see them doing the same or talking the issues they have on the floor of the House rather than outside. So we'll probably give about 2 weeks, which is about adequate for people to ventilate on it, and then we vote.
I'll not take too much of your time. That is Majority Leader Amos Kimunya. And we've also heard probably of plans to even have subcommittees to be looking into this. But he is also saying that they will be looking keenly on this bill just to also know what and debunk some of what he calls myths that have been told about this particular bill. But we're keeping an eye on this, and we'll be giving you more in our subsequent bulletins. Right now, it's back to you, Zeynab, in studio.
All right, thank you, Kennedy Murray, there at the Parliament buildings. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Cabling tips. Use cables from a reputable manufacturer made from 99.99% pure copper and the best insulation. Use a certified installer. Scratch to verify and authenticate your cables. We manufacture an extensive...
Nestle Nunkid 4 helps build a strong foundation for your growing child. Nestle Nunkid 4, our best for you.
What is family? Family is a solid foundation to build on and a strong pillar to lean on. It is believing in each one of us for the betterment of all of us. Family is working together today to win together tomorrow. It is creating opportunities for a lifetime of happiness. It is knowing we are valued, respected, understood, and most of all, supported. The future is bright because you can always bank on family. Family Bank, with you for life.
Place your order and enjoy free delivery. Reach us on 0723 999981 or 0724 114411 or the details on your screen. Boma Mabati. Mabati ya kila boma.
The magic beckons. From aquatic thrills to wild adventures, experience our latest additions to the magical Kenya Signature Experiences collection, filled with the most unique and authentic Kenyan travel experiences to cure your wanderlust. No matter where you choose to travel in this paradise we get to call home, you will be spoiled for choice and make memories that you'll cherish for a lifetime. Rediscover the magic.
Situated in the Kitengela suburbs, Kitengela Plains is an affordable, pristine residential community of 48 modern villas. Located off Namanga Road, a 30-minute drive from the CBD, the 4-bedroom all-en-suite villa offers a spacious living area, a modern kitchen, a private garden, a play area, and a borehole at only 9.8 million shillings. Call 0710 783 955 or 0798 569 274. Kitengela Plains. Welcome home.
New Tuzo Yogurt Cup. Size yako, bei yako.
And thank you for staying with us. You're watching NTV at One. Now, Nation Media Group is launching a new product associated with Taifa Leo, a move expected to boost the paper in the coast region. NMG, through the marketing department, will be installing QR codes in hotels and restaurants that will enable people get access to the dailies. Kevin Mutai is now joining us live from Mombasa with more details. Kevin?
Well, what we are talking about is this QR code printed on this table mat here, and this is exactly what the Nation Media Group is trying to do. Once you scan this particular code, you can be able to gain direct access to NMG's products. Here we're talking about the dailies, all the dailies, the Taifa Leo, Daily Nation, Business Daily, the East African, and definitely this is going to be a game changer, a strategy that the Nation Media Group is trying to get access to a wider audience. And we understand that Taifa Leo is preparing something meant for the coastal region. This is a new product that, of course, will increase circulation of the paper in this particular region. And quickly joining me here is the head of corporate at NMG, that is Clifford Machoka. How is this going to make a difference when you talk about business?
Thank you. I think first, we really want to ensure that we are not only changing the mindset about Kiswahili. I think people need to realize that Kiswahili is one of the largest in terms of read and actually spoken languages in the world, 250 million people. And I think what we want to do at the coast is take over the coast in terms of growing Kiswahili. And why is that important? What you're seeing happening in this restaurant is not only being able to bring up Kiswahili, which we usually say Kiswahili kitukuzo, but also at the same time bring value to the restaurants. And when you're seated, you're enjoying your food, you like the headlines or you like Taifa Leo, you're able to take your phone, you're able to scan your QR code, and once you scan your QR code, you're able to read the paper right there and then. And I think that's something that has not been done before, and it's something that we are starting with at the coast, and it's something we'll continue, not only at the coast, but also across this country.
Is it a campaign that is targeting only the restaurants, or you're thinking about expanding it to other areas and establishments as well?
Yeah. Right now, what we're doing is the campaign is targeting restaurants at the coast region. We're doing a pilot and starting with Mombasa. We'll move to Voi, we'll move to Taita Taveta, we'll move to Malindi. And one of the things that we're trying to do is take over the coast in terms of all the restaurants. Any restaurants deserve a very good table mat. How about you have a table mat where you can be able to enjoy your favorite, either Daily Nation, Taifa Leo, the East African, and at the same time, if you want to read the paper right there and then, take out your phone, scan the QR code, and you're able to get your phone.
Well, thank you so much. Let me also quickly try and engage the owner of this establishment. Kwanza kabisa anza kwa majina, and then again, just tell us how have you received this particular campaign?
Kwa majina naitwa Chris Kato.
Kindly put on your mask well, please. Put it on well. Yes.
Kwa majina naitwa Chris Kato. Mimi ndio mwenye hii restaurant hapa. Nimefurahi sana kuwa napatana na watu wa Taifa Leo. Wametupromoti. Tumepata na siku yetu. Nimefurahia sana kwa sababu kwa kutaka kusoma gazeti, si lazima uende nje kununua gazeti nivue kupiga ama nini. Kuna ile kitu historia inaitwa QR code.
Unaona pengine pia itaboresha biashara yako?
Itaboresha kwa sababu mtu atakuja na kuweka tu shilingi 10, anakuja na anaweka hiyo code, anasoma gazeti Taifa Leo, alafu anajua ni kitu gani, anakunywa chai yake pole.
Asante. Well, of course, the chief guest of the event is none other than the Mombasa Senator Mohamed Faki. Bwana Senator, we've also had some of members of parliament debating using Swahili in both houses of parliament. How do you think that this is going to bring change, especially to those people who are depending on Taifa Leo as a product to get the daily news?
Kwanza kabisa ningependa kuipongeza NTV na shirika la Nation kwa huu mpango wa kuweza kusaidia wenye mahoteli katika kaunti ya Mombasa na Kenya kwa jumla kuweza kuendeleza kukuza Kiswahili kupitia kwa gazeti la Taifa Leo. Tumeona mwaka uliokwisha bunge la kitaifa lilizindua zile kanuni zake za kuendesha kazi kwa lugha ya Kiswahili, na tutarajia mwaka huu bunge la Senate pia litazindua kanuni zake ili iwe ni rahisi kufuatilia mjadala na taratibu za bunge kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Kwa hakika lugha ya Kiswahili ndio lugha ambayo inaweza kutumika mahali popote hapa Kenya, na ni lugha ambayo ina tajiriba kubwa ya kuweza kuunganisha Wakenya, kwa sababu ndio lugha pekee yake ambayo inaweza kuzungumzwa kutoka Kisumu mpaka Turkana, kutoka
Kwa hivyo wasema gazeti hili litasaidia kukuza lugha ya Kiswahili hapa pwani.
Kabisa, litasaidia pakubwa kukuza lugha ya Kiswahili katika pwani na Kenya kwa jumla. Kwa sababu ni lugha ambayo inaeleweka na ina umahiri wake kusema ukweli. Kwa hivyo ni lugha ambayo lazima tuikuze kwa sababu ndio kitu ambacho kinaweza kutuunganisha sisi kama Wakenya.
Shukran sana Bwana Senator. Well, of course that's it, and they will still be engaging other stakeholders who are partnering in this campaign to ensure that we can be able to highlight all the key issues about what this particular move will make for the readers of the Taifa Leo as an NMG's product. So Zeynab will be having a very detailed story about this issue in our subsequent bulletins.
All right, thank you, Kevin Mutai there in Mombasa. Let's now take a look at stories making headlines beyond our borders And Guinea launched an Ebola vaccination campaign after a fresh outbreak of the deadly disease struck the country this month, with officials hoping to eradicate the virus in 6 weeks. The country reported new Ebola cases on February 13th, the first in West Africa since a 2013 to 2016 epidemic that left more than 11,300 dead in Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone. The latest outbreak emerged near a town in Guinea's southeast and has already killed 5 people. No new cases have, however, been confirmed for a week. Ebola causes severe fever and, in the worst cases, unstoppable bleeding. Health workers began to administer Ebola vaccine after over 11,000 doses arrived in Guinea the previous day. The WHO plans to send about another 8,000 doses to Guinea, the UN Health Agency said in a statement on Tuesday. And Australia has passed a law that empowers news publishers to receive financial compensation for their content whenever it is used on the websites of tech giants. The law has made Australia the focus of the world in recent weeks when it comes to regulation of the tech industry, as Facebook in particular took the drastic action of removing news content from Australian viewers. The backlash that Facebook received, however, caused the company to resolve the issue by entering financial agreements with some publishers. Google had already ceded ground on the matter, agreeing to pay news publishers for their content well before the laws were passed. Eyes will now turn to other jurisdictions in the developed world and whether they will go to the Australian way or maintain the status quo. Now, taxi driving in Mogadishu is not only typically reserved for men, but is also dangerous in a city where Al-Shabaab Islamists regularly set off car bombs at intersections and security checkpoints. 19-year-old Asha Mohammed, a resident of the Somali capital, Mogadishu, had to find a way to support her 2 children when she divorced her husband a year ago. So she turned her passion for video game racing into a paying job. She became a taxi driver. Take a look.
At 19 years old, Asha Mohammed is divorced and drives a taxi in Somalia, defying conventions to support her family in one of the world's most conservative and dangerous countries. For the past year, the young woman has crisscrossed the capital Mogadishu in her white taxi with a fur throw covering her dashboard. Her career choice was driven by passion, but also necessity after she divorced her husband, whom she married at the age of 16, and was left to take care of her 2 children and her mother.
When I was little, I was passionate about cars. I wanted to become a pilot one day. I didn't think of becoming a taxi driver in the beginning. But when the taxi company Recab was started last year, I decided to join them, especially because there weren't any women drivers at the time. I saw an opportunity.
In a recent blast on February 13th, 3 people were killed and 8 wounded. But car-loving Mohammed, who enjoys playing racing video games on her phone, was not put off. She says she had been given the opportunity by a relatively new company called Recab Taxi. However, only 3 of the company's 2,000 taxis in Mogadishu are driven by women.
The number of women taxi drivers was very low because of safety concerns. But since we launched the company, we are recruiting more women.
Mohammed earns up to $40 a day, allowing her to take care of her family, and hopes that by defying tradition, she can continue to changing the minds of her countrymen about the role of women. Clients are often taken off guard when they climb into the white taxi and see Mohammed wearing light makeup and a colorful hijab behind the steering wheel. Sadiq Dahir, a student at the Salam University, admits he was surprised when he first saw her arrive to pick him up, but this has changed since then.
And even if usually it's a man's job, today I prefer women drivers. They are always on time and drive much more carefully.
Mohammed lives with her mother, who looks after her grandchildren while she works. Little by little, she makes a way for the future for herself, but also for other Somali women.
Well, very interesting. Thank you, Leila Mohammed, for that report. And in some of the sporting action today, Manchester City won 2-0 against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Champions League round of 16, first leg match played at Puskas Arena. Bernardo Silva put City in front in the 29th minute before Gabriel Jesus scored the second goal in the 65th minute. This was the 19th straight wins for City, who are aiming to win their first Champions League title this season. Meanwhile, Ferland Mendy scored a stunning late winner as Real Madrid beat 10-man Atalanta 1-0 at Gawi Stadium. Real looked like being left frustrated by a well-organized home side until Mendy curled in with 4 minutes left. Atalanta's Remo was sent off after just 17 minutes for denying Mendy a clear goal-scoring opportunity.
Here's Mendy. Oh, what a strike! It's taken them 86 minutes to find a way through, and a goal has come from an unlikely source. Fell on Mendy. Bending one into the bottom right-hand corner. Real Madrid have the crucial away goal. They've finally been able to make their numerical superior.
All right, that now brings us to the end of our bulletin this hour. More news at our 7 and 9 p.m. bulletins. Stay tuned for more. My name is Zeynab Ismail. Have yourself a lovely afternoon.
This is NTV.
Presenting the new Harpic bathroom cleaner. Compared to ordinary detergents, its thick formulation gives you superior cleaning and kills 99.9% of germs and viruses all around the bathroom. Blue
for the toilet
and red
for the bathroom.